Hello and welcome. In the age of empires, most nations conquered the world with armies, but Britain did it differently. Its most powerful weapon wasn't its navy, it was its bankers. From the cobbled streets of London to the vaults of the city, British finance built an empire that stretched across every continent. This is the story of how money, not muskets, made Britain the most powerful empire in history. The year was 1694. Britain was locked in a costly war with France and was rapidly running out of money. To survive, the government made a revolutionary decision. It would borrow from private investors. That single idea would change the course of world history. The Bank of England was born, a private company lending money to the crown in exchange for power and profit. This was a game changer. Instead of raising armies through brutal taxation, Britain could now print credit, fueling its wars and expansion through debt. Money became the true engine of empire. Every ship built, every cannon fired, every colony founded was ultimately financed by the city of London. While monarchs and ministers ruled on paper, the real power pulsed through 1 square mile known simply as the city. Here, a new class of merchants, financiers, and insurers turned trade into domination. Take the East India Company. It wasn't just a trading firm, it was a corporate state that raised vast sums of private capital to conquer India. Or Lloyd's of London, which insured the ships that sailed to every corner of the known world, underwriting the risks of global expansion. These were not ordinary businesses, they were instruments of empire. A London banker could profit from tea grown in Bengal, sugar harvested in the Caribbean, or gold mined in Africa, all without ever leaving his desk. Britain became more than just a country. It transformed into a global network of capital, a web stretching from London's counting houses to the farthest edges of the world. By the 19th century, Britain had evolved into a banking superpower. Its financial reach extended far beyond the range of its armies. When Napoleon fell at Waterloo, it wasn't only the Duke of Wellington who triumphed. It was also Nathan Rothschild who, armed with secret intelligence, predicted the victory and used it to dominate the London bond market, securing his family's financial dynasty. British bankers financed railways in India, canals in Egypt, and entire industries across Europe. The pound sterling became the world's reserve currency, the ultimate symbol of trust, stability, and power. Britain's empire wasn't just built on land, it was built on credit. But beneath the surface of this financial miracle lay something darker: debt. Colonies were encouraged to borrow heavily to fund ports, railways, and cities, often under British supervision. When those debts couldn't be repaid, Britain offered help. Well, this help usually meant control. Egypt lost its independence this way. So did territories across Africa and Asia. Loans became the new weapon of conquest, and financial default was the new casus belli. The age of armies was slowly giving way to the age of accountants. By the dawn of the 20th century, Britain had created the first truly global financial system. A network of telegraph cables, shipping routes, and banks linked every major economy back to London. British banks weren't just national institutions anymore. They were world empires in their own right. Barclays, HSBC, and Standard Chartered all began as colonial banks, managing the flow of wealth from the colonies back to the City of London. Insurance, investment, and speculation spread outward from London like the spokes of a wheel. The British Empire may have ruled over people and land, but its financiers ruled over credit and capital. They were the masters of a new kind of empire, one that was invisible but all-powerful. Then came the 2 world wars. The unimaginable cost of fighting, paid in both gold and blood, finally bankrupted Britain's treasury. The system they had so carefully built began to fracture. The pound lost its global supremacy to the US dollar, and the empire itself began to crumble. Yet, even after the empire collapsed, the bankers remained. London, ever adaptable, transformed itself. It shed its role as the capital of an empire and became the capital of global finance. The old imperial network found a new purpose. Think about it. Half of today's major offshore tax havens, the Cayman Islands, Bermuda, Hong Kong, Jersey, trace their legal and financial origins directly back to the old imperial network. The same financial arteries that once carried imperial wealth now channel trillions in global capital, often in the shadows. The empire may be gone, but its banking legacy continues to shape our world in profound ways. The same streets that once financed colonial wars now move trillions of dollars every single day. The British bankers who once built an empire for the crown now build one for capital itself. Empires fall, armies vanish, but money always finds a way to rule. Thanks so much for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more deep dives into the hidden forces that shape our world. We'll see you in the next one.